Have you ever wondered why so many relationships don't even make it past the 3-month mark? At first, everything feels exciting. The texts are constant, the chemistry is intense, the dates are magical. But suddenly, things start to fade. Arguments creep in, or one person just disappears. What happened to all that passion? Why did it end so quickly? Today, we're going to break down the hidden reasons why so many relationships collapse within the first 3 months. And if you pay close attention, you might just learn how to avoid these traps in your own love life. Let's get into it. The illusion phase. In the beginning of every relationship, people tend to show their best sides. We dress better, talk sweeter, laugh more, and put in maximum effort. It's almost like a performance, and both partners are actors in a play called the honeymoon stage. But here's the truth. No one can act forever. By the 3rd month, the masks begin to slip. That cute habit that once felt adorable may now seem annoying. That constant texting that felt exciting now feels overwhelming. And the person you thought you knew? Suddenly, they start revealing traits you didn't sign up for. Many couples don't survive this shift because they fell in love with the performance, not the real person. Rushing without building a foundation. Passion is powerful. It can feel so intoxicating that people mistake it for real compatibility. You're spending nights talking until 3 a.m. You're physically attracted. You can't stop thinking about them. And that makes you believe it's meant to be. But passion without a strong foundation is like building a skyscraper on weak soil. It looks beautiful at first, but it won't stand for long. Real relationships require shared values, emotional connection, patience, and friendship. Without that, the first wave of conflict or stress will send everything crumbling. By month 3, reality tests that shaky foundation, and many couples realize they skipped the most important step, actually knowing each other. Ignoring red flags. One of the biggest killers of early relationships is ignored red flags. Think about it. On those first few dates, you notice little things. Maybe they get angry over small issues. Maybe they're inconsistent with communication. Maybe you catch them telling half-truths. But you shrug it off because you're infatuated. You tell yourself, "Oh, it's not a big deal. They'll change. I can handle it." But here's the problem. Red flags rarely disappear. They grow. And by the 3rd month, those small warning signs become deal breakers that can no longer be hidden or excused. Many people walk away at this point, not because the red flags suddenly appeared, but because they finally stopped ignoring them. Different expectations. Not everyone enters a relationship with the same goals. Some are looking for something casual, just someone to hang out with, laugh with, and enjoy the moment. Others are already planning the long term. Commitment, marriage, building a future. The first 3 months often expose these mismatched expectations. One partner starts thinking about meeting families or getting exclusive, while the other is still entertaining options or keeping things light. The result? Frustration, disappointment, and eventually a breakup. This clash isn't always about bad intentions. Sometimes it's just about being on different pages. But when those differences appear, the relationship rarely survives past that crucial 3rd month mark. Poor communication. In the early stages, couples often avoid serious conversations. They don't talk about boundaries, money, lifestyle differences, or even personal struggles, because they want to keep things light and fun. They're afraid of scaring the other person away with heavy topics. But silence has consequences. When boundaries aren't set early, they eventually get crossed. When values aren't discussed, conflicts arise. When needs aren't voiced, resentment builds. By the third month, unspoken issues pile up, and suddenly small arguments explode into bigger problems. Communication is the lifeline of any relationship. Without it, things will wither before they've even had a chance to grow. Emotional baggage from the past. Another common reason relationships fail early is because one or both partners bring unresolved baggage from previous relationships. It could be trust issues, fear of abandonment, jealousy, or even trauma. In the excitement of a new relationship, people sometimes think a fresh start will magically erase old wounds. But around the third month, patterns begin to repeat. The jealousy resurfaces. The insecurities return. The fear of being hurt again causes distance or unnecessary arguments. Unless both people are self-aware and willing to work on their healing, that emotional baggage will weigh the relationship down until it breaks. Unrealistic expectations. Movies, social media, and even past relationships can create unrealistic ideas about what love should look like. Some expect constant butterflies, endless attention, or zero conflict. But reality is different. No one can keep up the honeymoon energy forever. Real love is about stability, understanding, and compromise. By the third month, when the fairy tale vibe fades and normalcy sets in, many people panic. They think, "This doesn't feel like it before. Maybe it's not right." But often, it's not that the relationship is bad. It's that their expectations were unrealistic. And instead of adjusting, they walk away, chasing the next high. Outside influences. Believe it or not, outside forces can kill a relationship early. Friends who don't approve, family that interferes, ex-partners who still linger in the background. Social pressure and opinions can plant seeds of doubt, especially in a relationship that's still new and fragile. If both partners aren't secure and united, outside voices can easily push them apart. By the third month, many couples face their first test of us versus the world, and not everyone makes it through. Lack of genuine compatibility. At the heart of it all, some relationships fail within 3 months simply because the people involved are not truly compatible. Maybe their values don't align. Maybe their lifestyles are too different. Maybe their long-term visions clash. Chemistry can make people ignore incompatibility for a while, but it can't erase it. Once the initial spark fades, incompatibility becomes clear, and the relationship naturally falls apart. Final thoughts. So why do relationships fail in the first 3 months? Because the honeymoon mask comes off. Because people confuse passion for partnership. Because red flags get ignored. Communication breaks down. Expectations clash. Baggage resurfaces. And compatibility gets tested. The first 3 months are like a trial period, and many couples fail the test, not because love isn't possible, but because love requires more than attraction. It requires honesty, patience, and effort. The truth is, relationships don't just fall apart by accident. They fall apart by patterns. And if you don't recognize these patterns, you will keep repeating them in every new relationship. But if you do recognize them, you can break the cycle and finally build something real that lasts beyond those first 3 fragile months. If this hit home for you, make sure to like this video. Drop a comment about which reason stood out the most, and subscribe for more deep dives into love, dating, and the hidden truths about relationships.